That's good. You do those graduations. Uh, did you go straight to Columbia from here? Uh, what'd you do?
I graduated, I got my associates back home, and then COVID hit. And I was like, ooh, I don't know what I'm going to do. I didn't go to school in Columbia until the end of 2021 because I worked at the Metal Mushroom back home. So I was like, oh, I'm making so much money. No, I'm going to take a couple years off. I'm going to be like a 20 to 21-year-old, have fun, and like truly figure out what is going on thing. And that's when I really started honing in on graphic design and looking more into that because it was either going to be that or like digital marketing sort of thing, like something involving the arts and like communications. And I just sat there and I was like, oh my God, I don't know what to do. And so I took a couple of years off, really was like a normal post high school. COVID was crazy. I was not about to try to do school during COVID because I cannot do online classes. I have tried so hard and I'm like, nope, my computer is fun time. My computer is not school time. My iPad is fun time. It's not school time. So I waited until that calmed down and I was like, I'm gonna start fresh. I'm gonna go to Columbia. I stayed with my aunt, so I was like, I'm gonna be with my family up there, and then picked my communications. It's a communications and graphic design major up in Midlands.
Okay. At Midlands, fantastic technical college for those not
Mm-hmm.
familiar, multiple campuses, really good program out of Columbia in Richland
Mm-hmm.
County. All right, so you get into that. Uh, Again, you finally picked it. You're ready to move
Mm-hmm.
this thing forward. Uh, what are you doing now?
I actually just accepted because I just moved up to Richmond like
Okay.
3 weeks ago with my boyfriend. And I'm so excited because I liked Columbia. I lived in Columbia for like 4 or 5 years. I did everything there. I opened the Barnes and Noble there and I started getting into my degree, weirdly enough, at Barnes and Nobles. Because what I did for my degree, it's not just graphic design, it's like vehicle wrapping, screen printing, digital press, like everything in that realm. So it's kind of like the manufacturing merchandising side of it. So at Barnes and Noble, I became our commercial store support, which is essentially I just merchandise the entire store all day long. And so I just moved to Richmond and I just accepted a managerial merchandising position for VCU. So now I work for the college up here. They're Barnes and Noble, and I'm in charge of like merchandising, creating displays, creating graphics. I help with their Instagram whenever I go in. I did that at that store too. And kind of doing that and then taking my graphic design and implementing that not as a full-time gig right now because I do still like it as a passion more than that, and I am like a full believer of like do not monetize your passions right away, get good with it, and then enjoy it, and then go in. And so, right now, with that, I am doing art for a hardcore band out of Greenville, North Carolina. So, they're really cool. They're really nice. I just started working with them like a year ago. And I just did their debut EP art. I've done like all of their single stuff. We're working on some merch right now. So, yeah, still doing the artsy stuff. I'm like a manager, which is crazy because if you would think about me in like 2018 and me now being a manager, I'm also like, oh, this is what we're doing. So
Right.
yeah.
And I look forward to people watching the interview too. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
they will be surprised.
I know. It's like I look at myself in high school and I look at myself now, and I genuinely think like working in a restaurant and just becoming older made me like so much more extroverted and so much more myself. Where it's like I had this bottled up for like the entirety of high school. Like Logan saw this side of me, but I just would come to school, I would just get my work done, I would go to my college classes, and I would leave at like noon. It was great. It was cool. So yeah, I'm very excited to see what Richmond holds, and maybe go back to school. Maybe we'll be crazy, do marketing stuff. I don't know. We'll see.
Who knows? That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
My background is marketing as well. So you're talking all the merchandising stuff, and I love that
Yeah.
too. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
that is fantastic and really cool. And it's one of those things too. Like it sounds like nobody's really thinking like that's a job.
Mm-hmm.
And then like, no, seriously, can you do that? And yeah, and people need
Mm-hmm.
it. Like not
Yeah.
everybody can do that. That's really
Mm-mm.
cool. And I
Mm-hmm.
love too the idea of focusing on the passion and letting it still be the passion and not the
Mm-hmm.
paycheck. And that's really cool working with a band out of North Carolina. I talked to a girl yesterday, actually, is Creatia Green, who was also in your class. She lives in Greenville. Uh,
Oh,
so that's really cool. And she's working towards being a paralegal. Uh, and so that's
cool.
awesome. So who knows? You never know. Paths may cross again. Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
But that's just really cool. I like that mindset.
Mm-hmm.
And you truly don't know what Richmond holds. It's a new place, new to you. Who knows what the future holds? You got
Mm-hmm.
the connections with VCU there now. Uh, like the sky's the limit. Like
Yeah.
you can do whatever.
And like Barnes and Noble, it's also one of those companies too that you don't think these kind of opportunities could come out of. Like I have connections if like people read with Red Tower Books, and like that company just produced like the full like Fourth Wing series by Rebecca Yaros. Like I have a publicist connection with her. And so if I ever wanted to get my foot in that way, like there's so many, like if you just got to get good with your employers, and like if you're artsy, like go work in those areas, and they hone in and they sought out people like me that are like, like I'm just, it's a job. Life's weird right now. Lord knows like what is going to happen in the next couple of years. Like I just need to work, kind of thing. And because Columbia, like it's on the up and up, definitely, both with like the hardcore scene and just art in general, but I definitely am excited for what Richmond holds because they're way more in that realm of like art is a job, graphic designers are needed, like even just regular merchandisers or like in that screen printing vehicle wrapping realm too is like super here that's needed because back home it's me making shirts for like Tsunami the gift shop, or
Right.
something like that. Here it's like independently owned stores, a lot of local businesses, a lot of people that want people that actually care about it and have a passion for it versus back home where it's like just sit and just do this all day long. So that's also what I'm excited for too about Richmond
Right.
is it's definitely the culture here is very different, but I think it's going to be cool.
That's awesome. Love to see it. And I love to see the passion on your face and the smile
Mhm.
on your face. That's when you
Mhm.
know you're doing the right thing.
Mhm.
Two questions for you.
What's up?
I'm going to give you both questions. You can decide however you want to answer it.
Okay.
Question number one. What advice do you give to the shy eighth grader who in 3 weeks is going to get an acceptance letter from early college?
Mhm.
What advice do you give that eighth grader? Question two. In 2 months, literally, our seniors will be taking their finals in April, which is
What?
what advice do you give that senior who's finishing up the early college part and about to take off, whether that be military,
Mhm.
continuing their ed, going to the workforce? I mean, we got a lot of stuff happening here. We may have small classes, but we got a lot of different futures ahead of us.
That's
What
super
advice?
cool.
What advice do you give?
I was definitely that shy eighth grader. I definitely like just go in and just take it day by day. That's what I had to do is you don't know what the day's gonna hold. I definitely think building strong relationships, which is kind of something I wish I did, was like building stronger relationships with more people and just not being so shy and reserved. Like I wish me now could have been me in like eighth grade, but obviously like it was terrifying, genuinely. Like I lived also in Surfside, so Conway was completely
That's a
brand new
trip.
to me as well. Yeah, it was like a 45-minute drive, I think. And just definitely like expanding your circle, be friends with people that you don't even think were friends now. Like I remember after I graduated and COVID was in those times, I had people reaching out to me in our class that I was like, you never said one word to me and now you want to be friends. Like this is cool. Like it took us graduating to be like, yeah, like we would get along actually. So I definitely think like putting yourself out there more. I also liked having certain teachers where I was like, you are like my mother. I want to build that friendship relationship with you. That helps too tremendously, in my opinion. It just made it feel like I was at home, where I had that familiarity kind of thing. And then for the seniors, like, girl, just if you don't know what you want to do, it's completely normal. It's fine. It took me three or 4 years to like really be like, no, this is definitely like, I see a future in this. I want this to be a thing. And definitely like now it's really interesting because my sister was class of 21, I think. And like just seeing the majors and the people that are coming out of it, it's just very digitally based. And I'm like, I wish that things like this were normal when I was graduating, where like a future in technology, like not technology. We had like IT. I remember IT was like the huge thing when we were graduating because I think that's what Blake and Tanner went into. And like that's the new publicist now or like marketing person now. So I definitely think like just pick an art, pick a science, and then STEM that way because you can do anything with it. And I definitely think moving, this is just me though, moving out of Myrtle Beach and or Conway and just kind of experiencing outside of that area, but still staying in South Carolina, seeing your options. Like I had no idea Midlands offered that major until I was talking with the advisor and I was like, girl, I just did biology and like failed. Like I can't do science. Please help me. And she was running it through me and she's running through classes. And I was like, oh, really? And she's like, yeah, there's like 8 people signed up. Please sign up for this class. And I was like, okay. So yeah, like I definitely think just take what you like and what you like is not stupid and what you want to do with your life is never going to be stupid because you like it and if you care about it that's all that matters and there's going to be a need for like anything that you can think of and there's going to be a need for anything that you want and also yeah like I said earlier don't monetize your passions don't if you think arts are cool and you think graphic design is cool but you don't want it to be your whole shtick, there's like 9 million things you can do with a art degree in itself. Like I took my graphic design degree and I debated on doing art director for things. Like there's so many umbrellas that people don't know about within like just a basic degree. So like I think research, I think just learning about yourself, finding yourself, and then going that way with your education and just doing stuff you like. It don't matter what nobody else thinks. Just do what you want, you know? You support you at the end of the day. You make you happy, which is
Love it.
something I also had to learn.
Love it.
So,
All of it.
mhm.
All right, so that was my last question. If you'll hang on the call for just a minute after I stop the recording, we'll talk about a couple things. Uh,
Okay.
but awesome to have you, Sage. Again, I love to see the smile, love to see the passion. Uh, it's just
Yeah.
so good to see you.
Yeah, you too. I miss you guys.
Yeah.